Many thanks to DayZ Podcast, Pandemonium, Lion Lost, Gaming Can, Fetal Attraction Vanilla servers, Redacted Vanilla servers, Atlas, and Neo Farmers servers for making this video possible. DayZ 1.20 fixed the position of items in our hands, opening up the possibility to accurately destroy enemy weapons and explosives while simultaneously giving our guns, optics, and large handheld objects the ability to tank bullets for us. So in this video, we're going to be looking at the new best ways to disarm enemy players and check out DayZ's slightly OP improvised shields. All items in DayZ have a health pool much like our characters have a health pool down here, but with items, the lower the health points, the lower the quality level. Now to disable someone's weapon, the item must become ruined, which means we need to take the item's health down to 0 hit points. However, doing this with melee weapons or explosives is out of the question, as you cannot damage items in another player's hands with these two, so firearms are the only effective way to disable a weapon. The amount of health points a firearm removes from an item is based on the health damage that it outputs, not the shock damage, of which we have all of the health damage numbers for firearms here. Now while armoured items like some vests and helmets will take less damage from firearms due to their armour stat, all other items in DayZ do not, so it's an exact 1-to-1 transfer rate. The 20 health damage that this MK2 will do will remove 20 health from an item, with being further away reducing how much damage will be taken off the item, so damage drop off does occur when attacking items. Because item damage works this way, it means that we only need to know the health the item has, of which here are all the firearm health point values here. Sadly, all but 5 firearms will require at least 2 shots from the most powerful guns in the game to ruin at 150 damage per shot, so you can only one-shot destroy the Makarov, MK2, Glock, FNX, and the flare gun. I did test shooting for the magazine to ruin the rounds inside so it jammed the weapon, but there's no hitbox for magazines when attached to a weapon, and you cannot shoot the rounds inside barrels either. There is however a hitbox for optics, which all have fairly low health values as you can see here, making it almost impossible to see when they become ruined. Speaking of which, if you are shot at and your gun tanks a bullet for you, which will happen a lot more now, check all of your attachments on your weapon, as some have very low health pools, such as the improvised suppressor having just 1 health, which means all damage would destroy this instantly, with other suppressors following a very similar pattern. 1 shot from any gun will ruin a suppressor. Against melee weapons, you'll have more space and time to disarm players easier, but again they have huge health pools like firearms, with most fully tanking or deflecting bullets even when ruined, but dropping to the floor if they are ruined and used for attack. This leaves explosives as the only really easy way to disarm another player, as explosives tend to have very low health points, exploding in 1 shot from most weapons, but they do have small hitboxes and they still cannot be attacked on vests. Finally, for disarming players, the detonator trigger can be ruined very easily and won't work if it is ruined, so you can disable someone's trigger this way. In my last video on this topic, I tested these items in patch 1.19 to see how well they protected us, but because they were misaligned back then, most of them didn't fare well when I ranked them. Now that the hitboxes are aligned nicely to the model of the item, I found a total of 8 Riot shields that can legit save our lives from the most powerful weapons in DayZ, and will continue to do so even when they're ruined. Starting at number 8 then is the transceiver, otherwise known as a base radio, and this is mostly because of its smaller size. It's in number 8 and how it can't protect you when it's placed on your back. It will only protect you when it's on the floor or in your hands. Next is a gasoline canister, which is slightly larger, remembering that all of these 8 will tank the most powerful rounds in DayZ and will continue to do so even when ruined. In 6th place is a radiator because it covers more of the chest and it's much better when it's on the floor. 5th place goes to the police vest due to the positioning of the vest when it's held, which is the case for the next item too, the ballistic or press vest, being slightly larger than the police vest. The reason the plate carrier isn't on this list, even though it tanks all the bullets, is because it's held to the side of our characters, which is the same for the hunting vest too. Both of these vests will tank every bullet in DayZ. So these 4 vests are the only ones that will tank all of the bullets, but only in our hands or on the floor, not in the vest slot. Coming in 3rd then is a new entry to Riot shields, the Humvee wheel, or any wheel from the Humvee. All the other wheels in DayZ can be penetrated with a Deagle or higher, but the Humvee wheel for some reason is special and it stops bullets. This would be the number 1 spot, but it makes you move slower than the next 2 shields do. In 2nd place then, allowing mobility and storage, is the Field Backpack, otherwise known as the Alice Backpack, which will protect you while standing, crouched and prone. What you have inside this bag won't make a difference to how much it protects you, and when in first person you can actually see through this bag like a window in a Riot shield, but I'm guessing this will be fixed. In 1st place then, another backpack, the god tier Riot shield of this patch, the Tactical Backpack. The hitbox on this backpack is absolutely huge, allowing you to see around the side of it while its hitbox protects your face from every bullet that's ever been added to DayZ. If standing and raising your hand, you can use this to push higher or lower positions in DayZ, with the crouch stance being the strongest at pushing players head on, as only a small part of your head is vulnerable. However, all of the 8 improvised shields I've just mentioned won't protect you from infected or explosives, and I'm sure the last two, the 2 backpacks, will probably get fixed, as it doesn't really make sense that bullets can't go through this thin fabric. Until such time that this is fixed though, beware of other players using shields against you, as they probably only serve to distract you from potential shooters, seeing as they cannot attack you when holding any of these items. If you want to learn more about the bulletproof backpacks in DayZ, you can do so here, or you can watch my previous video on this topic going into detail on the shields. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.